Welcome back to the Jeremiah Show. My featured musical guest today is Gary Dranow. We left, if you love that song like I do, it's called In the Morning Light. And we're listening to Extremities right now as we come in. Get another great song, Gary. So, your mother bought you, took you, you heard the song at 11 Cream. Tell me about that experience. What was that? Because I remember when I first heard like a real rock and roll song that I wasn't supposed to be listening to, and how it made me feel and it affected me. How did this song make you feel?
Well, we were driving, I believe it's north on Ventura Boulevard, and Cream's Crossroads came on the radio. It's the first time I ever heard it, and it was like I got hit with a lightning bolt. And I had my mother turn the car around, and we went to Ernie Ball Guitars in Tarzana. And half an hour later, I walked out with my first Stratocaster and my Champ amp, and I still have that Stratocaster to this day.
Wow. And your mom supported that at that. Was it your birthday? Was it, or
No,
she just said, look, he's got the fire, and I'm gonna support him.
that's it. My parents supported me through equestrian, motocross, bicycle racing, ski racing, music. I mean, they were always there to let me follow my dreams.
That's very cool. That's so great. It sounds like they were very busy. They put soccer moms to shame nowadays, travel or baseball teams where the parents travel all around the state. Sounds like they were with you at a lot of these events and supporting you. That's a big thank you to your parents, that they sound like very cool people. Uh, Now, how did skiing come into it and that whole era of your life?
Kind of funny story. Uh, um, I I worked at Farrell's restaurant at 14 years old, and I told a guy there who I would know for up until I quit ski racing in 2010. I told him I was a good skier, and I had
Were
only
you?
no. I couldn't live with myself, so I uh, jumped into skiing with both feet. And by my second year, I was hired at Snow Summit Ski Resort as a ski instructor. 10 years later, I became a USSA racing coach, and a racer. I did pro racing in the 80s. Then I went on to NASCAR in the late 80s to 2010. I raced NASCAR, which is the national standard race for ski racing. And in 2005, I won the NASCAR Nationals. So uh, uh, skiing, I would say, next to music, was my greatest passion.
Thank you. You felt guilty that you had told someone at the restaurant that you could ski, so you had to go. You just couldn't live with that. You had to go become this world-class skier.
Absolutely.
That's
That's literally what happened.
well, we
And
were introduced.
by the way, his name is Blaine Loman. And the day that I beat him on the race course was a very proud day for me, because he was a junior racer and I was not. And then when we were at Snow Summit, we had night league racing, and I killed him.
Do you
and
still ski a lot, Gary?
No, I actually quit in 2010. I got hit by one too
Totally
many
quit.
supporters.
You got hit by snowboarders?
Yep,
Oh
because
no.
ski racers make round turns
Yeah.
around the hill. Snowboarders tend to go straight down the fall line, and the two don't mix.
Did you get hurt?
Yeah, I sure did.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. What is the mountain? Do you still go to the mountain? Do you still go into nature like that? Did that give you something as an artist? That that air, that mountain, that snow, that how did that support your career in music? How did that
Uh,
complement your career?
well, I live in Pine Brook in Park City. I'm at 7,000 feet. My wife and I and our three dogs walk 5 miles every morning. There are trails all over the mountains where I live. So and we just went through the fall color change, which was just
Oh,
spectacular.
beautiful.
Yeah. So being in touch with nature definitely helps fuel my creative process in songwriting.
There's such a difference between the two places that you've lived, Santa Monica and Manhattan Beach and the beach, and then the mountains like that. And you've got seasons where you're at. And I do miss that. I grew up in the Pacific Northwest and I do miss those seasons. But there is something about that air, that clean air and the night skies and the colorful changes of the leaves and the trees that's pretty magical. Now, where did you meet Mark Platt, our good friend Mark Platt? How did you guys meet?
I met Mark Platt from my publicist, Rhonda Kelly. And Mark, fortunately for me, found some value in my music and got me on many, many, many independent radio stations.
Yeah.
It's been a good relationship. And he is releasing a song from my Astrolix album, actually the last song in the album called Mama Tried, which is a ode to, oh, what was his name? Waylon Jennings' Mama Tried. So I did kind of a sequel to that song, and I first released it as kind of an alternative rock song, and now I've redone it as a dance EDM song. So
I love that you have a broad palette. Basically, you're EDM. I wouldn't, when I listen to most of the music that you gave me, I wouldn't think that you go there, but I think that's so amazing that you're exploring these different. There's not just one genre that you have to stick to. You're able to branch out and with your collaborators and really create some great music. Well, we're going to take another break here. We're going to go out with Murky. What would you like to, anything to set that you'd like to say to set Murky up for us?
yeah, it's a weird song.
That's
All
it.
right.
I know it's tough. I always hate when people ask me to describe, like if interviewers ask someone to describe the lyrics or describe the song because it's such a personal thing to the person that listens to it. So it's just a weird song. I think that's enough.
It's a song about uh, uh, not knowing oneself and living in kind of a clouded consciousness.
Gary Dranow, he's my special guest today. We're listening to his music. We're listening to Murky going into break right now. You can find him on his website at garydranow.net, where you'll find all of his socials and tour dates, upcoming tour dates. There are some I noticed in November. You can also go to Spotify and follow Gary Dranow to keep up with everything he's doing. He's still releasing a song a week right now, Gary?
No,
Or did that slow down?
I have been forbade to do that by my publicist. She says I put out way too much music. So I'm releasing one song November 8th. I'm releasing my Christmas song, which is Merry Christmas World on November 29th. And then when we come back to January, I'll be releasing a song every other week.
So it's still a pretty busy schedule. What's typical, like 6 weeks, 4 to 6 weeks, typically seems like for artists to release stuff. What did she want you to do? What did Rhonda want you to schedule?
She
Did she want to
wants me to
follow
do she wants me to do one song a month.
one a month? Yeah. You got too much creativity sparking you, my friend, to do that. It's bursting out beautiful colors and musical notes. Okay, here's Murky. Gary Dranow, my special guest today. We'll be right back.